Namaste, this is Jess. In our flow section under the recovery area, you will find self-myofascial release techniques, which are a really amazing tool coupled with our yoga practice to really recover those sore and tight muscles. But first, what is fascia? So fascia is an intelligent framework located all throughout our body. You can imagine it as the scaffolding that's kind of supporting and holding up our body. It also communicates, so it's a super highway of information, hydration, and nutrients traveling all throughout the body. So just like in this citrus, you can imagine there's 3 layers of fascia. So just underneath the peel or underneath our skin, that's a superficial layer of fascia. So that's the area of tissue that will affect the most when we do our self-myofascial release. There's visceral fascia, so between the organs, allowing our organs to move and slide along one another. And if you've ever been pregnant, you know that we have to have some of those organs move out of the way to grow a baby, right? We couldn't do that without fascia. There's also the deep layer of fascia, which if you can imagine, like in this orange, there's the pith in between the sections of the orange as well as the individual orange segments. And that's how our deep fascia is all throughout our muscles, even around the muscle cells. So why is fascia important? It used to be something that we would just discard, but that is kind of our framework and roadmap to all of our injuries and tight spots, trigger points, which is what we're gonna go after with these self-myofascial release techniques. First, you're gonna need some tools. So I recommend, under the products I love, using this rad myofascial kit. This is a great entry-level kit. You get the 3 size myofascial balls as well as this awesome double duo rad ball. And this great block, which we will use to elevate the balls and get to some tight areas. So if you're in a pinch, some of this medium ball will be the size about a golf ball. Where this larger rad ball would be about the size of a lacrosse or a tennis ball if you're in a pinch, and you can throw 2 tennis balls in a tube sock if you don't have these duos. But I highly recommend it to getting yourself a set because it's a super great way that we can work on our recovery at home. So the benefits to myofascial release are increased circulation, hydration of the tissues, reduced muscle soreness. It's a super incredible tool that we can do. A couple things to remember. On a pain scale between 1 and 10, never really having to go above a 7. So more pain is not better. And if you find a trigger point or a spot that we're working through that might be too painful, maybe back off a little bit and breathe, and then maybe just moving the myofascial ball an inch or 2 kind of offset of that trigger point, and you might be able to find some relief, still affecting the surrounding tissues. So some areas that we'll stay away from, contraindications. So any bruising or open wounds, that's a no-no. We wanna stay away from the armpits, the pits of the knees, where there tend to be a lot of nerve bundles. You're also gonna stay away from any bony protrusions. So you imagine the vertebrae down the spine, won't feel good to roll the myofascial balls there, or the 2 bony hip front points right in the front of your pelvis. So staying away from bones. And the breathing is also really important through these myofascial release techniques. I often cue a double count inhale through the nose, and then a quadruple, so 4 count exhale through the mouth, which really just allows the body to soften and relax around some of this release that can tend to be a little painful. Again, not going above a 7. But myofascial release is great. These techniques you can use pre-sport. So maybe you want to use myofascial techniques on the feet before you hit the pavement out for a run. And they're also incredible for recovery. Like I said, reducing muscle soreness, that coupled with our yoga practice can be a great way to get your body feeling good and back out there doing what you love. I hope you check out those myofascial release classes.